Day one of Chiefs camp is in the books. Chiefs Kingdom football is back. It is here, and I am here to give you everything you need to know from Sunday's practice up in St. Joe on today's KCSN Update.
This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into today's KCSN Update. I'm Tucker Franklin. I hope you all had a great Sunday, and I hope you all know that football is back. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm going to say it. Football's back. Training camp's here, so I don't make the rules. That means football's back. I'm super excited to get you up to date on everything you need to know from the very first practice in St. Joe. As the Chiefs opened up training camp with the whole team on Sunday, well, minus Chris Jones, but let me get you caught up on the highlights. If you're not following us on Twitter at KC Sports Network, you need to be. We are tweeting out clips. We are tweeting out the news nuggets that you need to know in the moment at KC Sports Network. Go follow that on Twitter. At Instagram, it's KCSports.network is what we are on Instagram. You can go follow us there. But Twitter's where you're going to get everything that you need to know live, up to date in the moment, from clips to news nuggets, everything. But I'm going to show you what was practice on Sunday. Here are the highlights from practice, and let's start at one of probably the most vital parts, I think personally, of Chiefs training camp, is the special teams department. Because a lot of these guys, if they're going to make the roster, they're going to have to contribute on special teams. Justin Ross being one of those guys that I think he's going to need to be a special teams contributor if he's going to make this roster. Here he is returning punts in the pre-practice stage of things, looking good on returning the punts. Thought he looked really well. And now let's hop in to the individual drills, where the receiver room is a huge story this year, and see how those guys look here, working on their releases, working on their catches and some routes, trying to get all that stuff very crisp. While the pads still aren't on, still a good drill to watch. Still, I thought a fun drill to watch for me personally as I watch those guys work on their releases, getting out, catching the ball. A very good thing. Now, this isn't as exciting, but I know that they make these guys that are on the physically unable to perform or the PUP list really work on the side, out to the side. If they're not practicing, they're working really hard. Tershawn Wharton, he's trying to get back in shape after tearing that ACL. Sometimes takes a little bit of those bigger guys a little bit longer to get back. No problem. He's out there working on the side, trying to get back healthy. Love to see that there too. All right, let's get to the team portion of things. Now, this is a team offense on air. Here's Patrick Mahomes rolling out to his left, hitting Sky Moore on a little bit of a leak route. We get to see a little bit of a play that we see kind of a whole lot the Chiefs run. We're going to see it a whole lot more, I'm sure, with the evolution of Sky Moore and how things are going with the Kansas City Chiefs offense. This play here could be one that we see a whole lot in the season, and another one we could really see a whole lot in this season. Travis Kelce scoring a touchdown in the red zone. Patrick Mahomes finds him, drops this ball perfectly into the breadbasket for Travis Kelce. One of those vintage Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce connections right there. Granted, it is on air, but anytime I can see Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes hook up for a touchdown, I am going to watch it. Really enjoyed that one. Had a really good shot for that one in that end zone as well. And now another one that I really like to see, that I kind of want to see a renaissance maybe in this Chiefs offense. I think it could be fun with the way the defenses are playing Chiefs again. MVS calling in a deep ball. And now I know some people have made a comment on Twitter that he kind of underthrows him a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's on there. MVS makes the catch, makes the play. Really good play from MVS there. And Patrick Mahomes. Always fun to watch the deep ball work. And another really fun guy who I've learned to, I love to watch work, is Richie James. He probably made the play of the day, I would say. He was the talk of the town around Chiefs camp after practice. Andy Reid got to talk about him, but as a defensive day on the podium, we'll get to those later. But Richie James makes a really great play here as he's catching a slant through traffic. Patrick Mahomes kind of threading that needle there right over Nick Bolton. He's able to catch the ball, Richie James is, and kind of maintain some physicality through the contact. Even though they're not supposed to have contact, Richie James does go down. You don't like to see those guys go down to the ground when it does come to these t-shirt and shorts practices. Richie James pops back up, though. Good. Love to see it. Love to see the physicality. All right, now let's get you caught up on what the guys had to say after practice. And Coach Reid, Clark Hunt, Justin Reid, and Nick Bolton all took to the podium. Here's Coach Reid's opening statement from the press conference today.
All right, as far as the injuries go, Wanya Morris, he has a hamstring strain. He did that in the rookie camp. Not too bad, so he'll be back here, I think, fairly quick. And then Wharton is still coming back, rehabbing that that knee, and he's on PUP. So, and then Kadarius tweaked his knee on the punt return out here, pre-practice punt return, and so we'll just see how he does as we go forward. Let me address. It's great to get everybody back here and working. You saw how they competed out here. Offense had some good snaps, defense had some good snaps, and it went back and forth, and great energy. And so for this type of a camp without pads on, I mean, that's a great thing. It's also good to get the new guys, let them feel the energy that's here with our fans, and the up tempo from the OTAs that you get in camp. So the competition. So I appreciate that. And then as far as Chris goes, we'll just see how things go here down the road. There had been communication. We'll see where it goes from here, and we'll take it. If you're not here, we just keep moving, and that's how we roll. We don't worry a lot about that. We let it take care of itself, and we got great people working on that. So I'm not worried about that. All right, with that, time's up.
Lots of good stuff from Andy Reid's press conference today. The first one with the full team there out in St. Joe. Clark Hunt also at the podium. He did mention the fans as well, and I thought he had some really cool stuff to say about, being back in St. Joe after a Super Bowl victory.
It's so exciting, and I think it's something that really benefits the team, particularly the players. Having the fans out here, it adds a level of energy to the practices that you don't get that. It's a very different environment, just thinking about the OTAs. Not having the fans there versus having the fans today. I think we're expecting maybe record crowds this year. Certainly with good justification coming off the Super Bowl win. So it's great to be here and great to be able to share this with our amazing fan base.
You guys already know the big story around this team is the wide receiver room. Andy Reid had some stuff to say about the wide receivers and some performances they saw from Rashee Rice, Richie James, two big names from today's practice. Here's what he had to say about those young wide receivers.
Yeah, the young receivers, you're saying? Yeah. So liked what I saw there. Caught the ball well. The retention, put a lot of stuff in the OTA. So the retention of the stuff that we've put in here now yesterday, I thought they handled it very well. Yeah, Richie did a nice job. He's familiar with the offense because he had Mike Kafka, and so he didn't have to go through and learn everything here. Just maybe a few new things, and I like what I've seen from him. He's a good football player. Has a great feel for things.
Another guy getting a whole lot of praise at the end of Chiefs practice today, Nick Bolton. Both Andy Reid and Justin Reid gave high praises of Nick Bolton. Here's what they had to say about him.
We're at the time now, like this is a prime for the Kansas City Chiefs kingdom, man. With the talent that we have offensively and defensively, the veteran leadership along with the young guys coming in and playing really well, especially when we need them to. It's an all-time high right now, and Nick is the leader of the defense in that, and the play calling, making checks, making calls. Everyone on the field has the utmost confidence in that whatever Nick says, that's what we're going to do and execute.
Yeah, in his own quiet way, he kind of has already done that. I'd tell you that last year, it was fun to watch that. He just jumped in, and he's a transmitter there. He's got to get the secondary right, the front right, the linebackers right. And he does that easy. It's a tribute to the University of Missouri, man.
Nick Bolton also at the podium on Sunday. Here's what he had to say about being a leader and kind of growing into his role on this defense, now coming into his third season.
Yeah, I think last year I was still trying to figure out where I belonged at. Again, I played a will backer or outside backer in college and in my first year here. So a lot of stuff is different, playing everything from outside in to going inside out. So a lot of stuff is kind of like backwards in your mind, and you got to kind of flip that. And also just communication point, trying to figure out what makes the guys most effective, whether it be like saying a rock lucky or getting guys lined up with hand signals and stuff like that. So you just learn a lot, man, and just trying to figure out what makes the guys around you most effective, and it kind of just helps you lead the guys going forward.
Now we know there's a ton of guys in that defensive backfield, Justin Reid being one of the guys who is kind of a main leader of those. He talked about kind of the evolution of those second-year players and getting those young guys in there to see how they've kind of come along since OTAs and now the first day of camp.
I'm going to start with the second-year players. Start with my partner in crime, Brian Cook. The guy is a baller, very cerebral player. probably the loudest communicator on the defense out of the DBs, and you love to have that a vocal guy who's confident in the back end. I mean, all the young guys, Trent McDuffie, Jalen, Jay Will, Najee Johnson, all doing an amazing job. The young guys coming in, Isaiah, Echo. You guys, they have their ears wide open. They're humble. They're willing to learn. Spag's system is not easy, but they're willing to put in the work. And we have good veterans in the room that's willing to lead them along and teach them.
All right, that's going to do it for today's KCS and update. Make sure you are subscribed to us here, KC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel. Really appreciate you dropping a subscribe and even a like on the video as well. If you enjoyed it, make sure to share it with a friend and get the word out here about KC Sports Network as we are covering training camp and football is back, baby. Hit the like button if you are excited for football to be back. I'm Tucker Franklin. I'll be back with you tomorrow with another video recapping training camp. So until then, I'll talk to you later.